Adrenaline, heartbreak, and moral dilemmas. On Call plunges us into the reality of the front lines. Whilst I was doing my research for the new year, and specifically on Prime Video, this was one of the ones that caught my eye the most. I think the artwork is what set everything off for me. It really set the tone as to what to expect. Now couple that in with the fact that I haven't watched a crime drama for a very, very long time. This just felt like the perfect time because it seems like the stars had finally aligned with what I was looking for and what was coming out brand new and available. And if that wasn't enough, once I checked out the trailer, my intrigue grew even further. Setting out its stall for what the show's about, in the trailer you really get that suspense, mystery, and action all packaged up together. So what could go wrong? So my friends, with On Call now available on Prime Video's catalogue of content, do we have a blockbuster, a 50-50, or a flopbuster on our hands? On Call is a crime drama that follows a team of police officers working in Long Beach. These first responders are always on the go, racing against time to save lives whilst facing everything from violent crime to dangerous emergencies. It shows the intense pressure they're under and how their job can take a toll on their personal lives. The main challenge for the team is dealing with the chaos of the job while trying to stay emotionally and physically strong. They're constantly faced with life or death situations, from responding to emergencies involving violence to dealing with tough personal battles of their own. The question threaded throughout the show is, can they stay true to their calling without losing themselves in the process? As the season unfolds, each episode takes a deeper dive into the struggles of the police officers. While they don't always have the perfect ending, On Call shows us how they handle the tough moments and grow from them. The show doesn't give easy answers, but it leaves us with a powerful reminder of what it means to work on the front lines and the sacrifices that come with it. We're getting 8 episodes that are roughly made up of 30 minutes in length, so it doesn't feel like you're having to make a massive investment when it comes to your watch time for this show, especially if you're looking for something on the easier side to watch. But be warned that there is a lot of suspense in this TV show. And the other thing that the show gives you is that it does have a bit of a story to it. They're not standalone episodes entirely. They are somewhat stitched together. When it comes to the plot and storyline, I felt that for a short episodic crime drama, they stitched the episodes together well, striking a good balance with the side missions, all wrapping up into the main mission to be the plot. Each episode brought something new to the table, but they all rolled up into the main plot. It was actually quite interesting to experience because you have the main plot, which is all revolving around the East Barrio gang and Long Beach police. These sort of side missions that relate to East Barrio and will help them in their pursuit to bring peace to the community. Then you have these completely separate missions, but they are related to gangs. This is all topped off with the character stories, which is where everything comes full circle. I came away from watching the show feeling that I had been on one heck of a ride. There's quite a lot to go through in such a short space of time, given the fact that the episodes are quite short. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that this is a negative. Actually, it's probably worked out in their favour, given such a high suspense TV show. I didn't just like what they did with the story. I actually like what they did from a bigger picture perspective. Now, however subtle or unsubtle, they were in elements trying to shed light on the difficulties for the emergency services. Things like police being short-staffed and having to leave themselves exposed. But then you've got the aggression from the police and the corruption. When it comes to the critiques for the show, it does really do feel like you've been thrown around a lot. The show crams so much into such a short amount of time that it can feel overwhelming at points. In every episode, there's the main plot surrounding the East Barrio gang and the police, but layered on top are smaller, faster moving missions that pull the characters into multiple directions. You barely get a moment to catch your breath before you're thrown into the next situation, a tense confrontation, a high stakes chase, or a deeply personal moment. This rapid pace means that the characters often struggle to have their stories fully explored. You see glimpses of their personal lives, moments of vulnerability and conflict, but before you can dig deeper, the story pushes you ahead. It's exciting and keeps the energy high, but it can also feel like you're constantly being pulled from one scene to the next without a chance to settle. While this pace keeps things thrilling, it also leaves you wishing for a bit more time to connect with the characters on a deeper level. I did actually find this to be a bit of a double-edged sword. On one hand, it actually plays right into the strengths of the show, with being able to provide such a highly intense and suspense-driven show. But on the other hand, you don't actually get a chance to digest. And even when they decide to take the foot off the acceleration to give you time with the characters and connect with them, it just never seems like it's long enough in order for you to try and build more of a picture and character profile and actually start to connect with them, build a bit of a history, build a bit of a rapport, and actually figure out, is there a character that you might like more than the other outside of the two main leads? Now, when it comes to the character portrayals and their development, I think as good as they were, they didn't truly live up to their potential because the script didn't allow them to do so. Officer Harmon is definitely by far my favourite character in the show. Her story is shaped by a powerful balance between control and vulnerability. Harmon's story is one of inner conflict and growth. For 12 years, she's maintained a strict code, keeping a clear line between right and wrong. She prides herself on staying true to who she is, despite the personal struggles she faces. Her relationships, especially with her family, are complicated and reflect the emotional challenges she grapples with. While she might appear cold on the surface, there's a deep vulnerability within her, especially when it comes to protecting women and children. Harmon's journey is a delicate balance between staying true to herself and navigating the personal battles that shape her. I really did like Officer Harmon in this show. She's a really powerful character that shows that true strength isn't about being invincible. She navigates a lot in this show, whether it's duty, loss, or her own personal struggles, but all of it coming together in a relatable way. Her journey leaves you feeling for her, especially as she learns to face her demons and get closer to the people that surround her and bring them into her world. Alex Diaz is my runner-up character. His story arc adds depth and complexity to the show. As the rookie officer, Diaz is trying to prove himself. However, his path is far from straightforward. His mother is somewhat ashamed of his choice to become a police officer, which adds a layer of emotional conflict. His brother, who's serving time in prison, always pushed him to pursue this career, adding a sense of family pressure. As Diaz navigates his job and the weight of his family dynamics, he faces a struggle between proving his worth in his profession and finding a way to earn respect from those he loves. I really enjoyed Diaz as a character. He's a really relatable character, especially with his struggles between his career and his family. The tension between his mother and brother really adds that emotional weight. And as his character grows, you really start to believe in him and believe in his ability to be able to start to balance all of it. His journey feels full of hope, despite all the hurdles that he faces. Now, the character that I really wanted to see more from in this show was Lieutenant Bishop. She had so much potential to add depth to the show, but we just didn't get enough from her. Lieutenant Bishop feels like a character with layers waiting to be peeled back. There's a clear history between her and Officer Harmon, something that hints at a complicated relationship, but we're left in the dark about what that really is. The few times we see her, it's usually in the aftermath of key events, where she's mainly there to assert her authority. While that fits her role, it doesn't allow us to connect with her or understand her motivations. There's this sense that she's pivotal, but her presence feels underutilized, leaving her more of a figurehead than a fully realized character. I feel that it was a bit of a shame that we didn't get to see more from Lieutenant Bishop. Her dynamic with Officer Harmon and their shared history could have actually added so much more to the story. Hopefully, if they bring out a season 2, we'll be able to explore her character a little bit more and make better use of her character. When it comes to the visual and cinematography, I thought there were a few elements that stood out to me. With the visuals, I thought that the Long Beach police uniforms played a subtle yet powerful role in being able to complement the show. With the cinematography, I thought they absolutely smashed this. I thought they did a brilliant job with it. They had a variety of techniques, from body cam shots and aerial views that keep the storytelling visually engaging. The visuals in On Call are an essential part of the story, grounding the series in realism while adding depth to its gritty tone. The Long Beach police uniforms aren't just costumes, they're a visual representation of duty and the weight of responsibility these officers carry every day. From the intricacy of the badges to the practical yet imposing design of the fabric, every detail reinforces the show's central theme: finding order in the midst of chaos. The cinematography takes this grounded realism and amplifies it, using creative techniques to draw viewers into the heart of the action. The sweeping helicopter shots of Long Beach offers a sense of scale, framing the city as both a battleground and a home. Motion movements and jump zooms inject urgency into the tense moments, while the use of body cam perspectives immerse you in the raw, unfiltered chaos of each scene. These shots don't just show you the danger, they make you feel it, creating an experience that's as intense as it is unforgettable. I found the visuals to be very complimentary of the show. They actually played a very crucial role in creating a sense of atmosphere when it comes to the show, making it easy for you as the viewer to step into the world of On Call. I really had to think about it, because it might have seemed ever so subtle and almost expected, but because they got it so right, it was an effective element that added to the show's quality. Given what the show is and what it's about, I found the cinematography to be very impressive. The different techniques used, especially with the body cam shots, really helped to truly amplify the suspense and tension. This variety added layers of intrigue, keeping each scene fresh and ensuring that you stay fully locked in and engaged. When it comes to the entertainment value, On Call definitely offers the suspense that everyone's been looking for, especially in a crime drama, but I do think it lacks when it comes to that emotional connection, only because it didn't fulfill its potential. And because of that, it struggles to feel fully satisfying. The show feels like it almost wants to tease you when it comes to the depth, almost as if it's dangling a carrot in front of you, with hints around the characters' backstories. And when you find yourself in a scene where you're thinking that you're about to get that depth, they take it away, don't explore more, and leave you wanting more. While the main plot offers tension and intrigue, it's often resolved too quickly. The episodic format struggles to find a footing between standalone stories and a larger narrative. Some of the strongest moments come from the main two characters, where glimpses of their history and growing bond end up trying to push and shine through, but even those moments often feel rushed or like they've been cut short. I came away from On Call feeling entertained, but not fully satisfied. It's a show that builds on suspense and emotional tension, yet it fails to fully deliver on its potential. While it teases rich character backstories and deeper personal stakes, it never seems to really feel like it's explored it fully. What had the potential to be a truly brilliant TV show, providing an immersive experience to us as the audience, has ended up feeling like a bit of a missed opportunity because it leaves you wanting more. If you're looking for something to get stuck into that has a high level of suspense, but don't have to concentrate too much and isn't lengthy, then this show could be a good fit for you. I give season 1 of On Call a 3 out of 5 buckets, meaning it's a binge watching 50-50. So here's the binge watching question. If you've watched the show, which character's backstory would you have wanted them to go deeper into? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to smash a like if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with the latest content. If you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. I'm Matthew, this is Binge Watcher. Thanks for binging with me.